Hello, everyone. Welcome back to TRI's Top 100 Crypto Review. What a fancy name. Well, it looks like we got a few people over there on YouTube. It might just be the three of us and a couple stragglers over there. Welcome back to the Frivolity. Anybody who is watching this, actually, I do notice that we get a half decent chunk of viewers through the week, so sure hope you enjoy the edutainment. My name is Brian Beamish. I'm one of the principals, I suppose we can show you. TheRationalInvestor.com. We've been running this website for quite a while now. I got about 30 years plus experience as a broker, trader, newsletter writer. I think that technically is my job description. And all around nice guy, although some people might argue that. Along with one excellent organizer, I would say. Operationals manager, and one computer whiz at PHP. The three of us, three principals at TRI, have sort of brought this website along over the past few years. Making great leaps and bounds towards building automated trading signaling systems based on technical analysis. I've been a big fan of following market breadth for a very long time. I thought it was interesting. I posted crypto breadth indicator. We're, beta. Eventually we'll bring this product to market, but it is getting closer and closer. Never been closer, as we say on the site. This breadth indicator did roll over, a month or so ago, which was interesting. A little bit early, but it did sort of register the broader market. So I suppose, a sense of maybe we just ought to cool our jets a little bit until this cleans itself up. I think it kind of makes sense. We are sort of moving at light speed towards this business model. I've been a really big fan of things like key reversal signaling systems, and I've never been able to find it anywhere. On the interneting, or of course classic, sort of get your charts in the mail kind of platforms. But got Sjord plugging away on the code, and I think these signaling systems are starting to work pretty nicely now. So keep your eyes peeled for that. These products should be coming down the pike relatively soon. There is that crypto breadth. I tell you, man, that was probably one tool that probably kept us out of a lot of trouble here recently. Ironically enough, in these shows, we do a sort of a weekly call of what we expect to happen. And I think last week I went, man! And we didn't quite do that. So way to go, Brian. Just because, Joe, I'm just as much of a schmuck as anybody else in the marketplace. Opinions don't really matter a hell of a lot, but they're a hell of a lot of fun to banter about. In fact, it'll be interesting to see who was the leaderboard here, but I do these shows. We've been doing them now for about 18 weeks, so quite a while. With 3 site members, and what's so cool is when we started this show, one of the participants was just a sort of site member. Just trying to see whether, we're worth our weight. And actually now we convinced him to join the school. So actually all 3 of my co-hosts are currently in the education program. And I love just sort of checking in with them, seeing what they're learning. Current term, that kind of stuff. But why don't we take a moment and introduce them, just from left to right. We've got Nick. Nick, are you on the call here this evening?
Hey, Brian.
Hey, there he is. Nick is our resident DeFi expert. So we're gonna call you that. I think Nick, he would make a really good. He's got the microphone and the total radio voice. I think he'd make a really good educator. And Nick went and bought the GAN Bible.
It
I'm almost
did.
afraid to ask how much he paid for it because the guy who bought it from me said, "Whoa, Brian, this is a pretty penny."
Yeah, I mean it's an expensive book, but you got to take some profits from your trading wins. So I threw some of that into the book so I can become a better trader.
Yeah, well, and it'd be interesting to see if you can get cover to cover. I mean, it's what I think it's like 1,500 pages or something like that.
Yeah, it's a big book.
Yeah, so, and that's fantastic. I mean, if anything, we need more GAN experts on the site. GAN is an enigma wrapped in a conundrum, or delivered to you in a riddle. And how you feeling this evening? How you doing? You're in the middle of a move, aren't you?
Sort of like we put our house on the market last week. We did get an offer, so
Boom.
or
There
an
you
offer we
go.
liked. So yeah, so that's good. I'll
Bidding
probably be
war?
moving. I'll be moving in like 3 weeks.
Ah, there you go. Heading up to the great state of Minnesota, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I saw. I like watching. There's the guys, the bushcraft guys. The guys. There's a guy out in northern Minnesota that builds a pretty good house. Like watching those. And actually, one of my favorite plays in the stock market. Geez, like 20, 30 years now. I first learned about the stock when it was 12 cents a share back in 2001, 2002. They're in northern Minnesota, a big old mining project for copper and molybdenum.
Yeah,
Um,
there's a lot of copper mining up north.
yeah, Polymet. I don't really remember me. Actually, I'm long Polymet. Yeah, I bought a whack of it for TRI too, even. All right, so Nick is here. Nick and I were both cautiously bullish last week, and we just got bitch slapped. Ouch. Thanks, Bitcoin. And the irony of it all is, I think that's almost exactly the date that they did that the Bitcoin ETF, wasn't it? I think it was.
Yeah,
Coming
I think it
up.
was the 19th.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think it was the day before. Or no, it was Monday. It was Monday, and we met on Wednesday, so 2 days.
Coming up next on our hit list, and by the way, Nick, and interestingly enough, Nick is in the level 2 program, and he's sort of halfway through the adventure into WD GAN land. You're studying the top of Saturn. If you want to freak yourself out, go look at the top of Saturn and try and figure out why it looks the way it does. As soon as you see that, you go, wow, there's something odd about what's going on here. So, and actually it's fascinating because I don't know whether they're related, but it'd be interesting to see how the Feigenbaum constant fits into all that. That's sort of my latest toy, technical analysis toy, if you will. Through the whole sickness event, I was given the Feigenbaum constant when Mr. Trump was still president, and Cool Kelly Loeffler was bilking the American. Remember, she was the senator from Georgia. I don't know, are any of you guys from Georgia? You're not, eh? But she's not there anymore, eh? She didn't win, did she?
She did not.
Yeah. So, anyway, that's where I first learned about chaos theory and Feigenbaum. And man, we've been having a lot of fun trading it over the past little while. So, Derek, next up on our hit list. Derek, you were in class with me today.
Yes, sir. I was there.
Yeah, that's cool. What do you think about working with the old man? I'm a little bit nuts, eh?
No, I think you're very thorough.
Oh, good.
Is a good word I would use.
That's the word that you would use, thorough.
Yeah.
That's good. Our Saturday class of the level 3 program was a light 3 hours, 3.5 hours for 3 hours.
Yep, 3.5 hours.
It was a marathon, eh? And you know the funny thing is you're watching this. I don't have to talk this long. Nobody's holding a gun to my head. It's just, man, I love the sound of my own voice. And I even love, even if there was anything more that I loved the sound of my own voice, it's the sound of my own voice talking derivatives. Oh man.
I don't mind it one bit because it seems like the longer you talk, the more little nuggets just keep dropping.
Well, that's cool.
Nuggets and gems.
That's good. Yeah. Well, and the cool part about it, like why we call the level 3 program God mode, And once Derek wraps his head around the information that you can glean from the options market, you actually realize how completely and utterly manipulated this whole damn thing is. And what I thought was really interesting, guys, I don't know whether any of you noticed, but guess what has options now? Dun, dun, dun. No? Nobody? The Bitcoin ETF!
Oh yeah, we looked at that today, right? Yeah, the backed.
Yeah. Well, no, that's a different one.
That's not. Oh, that's the Coinbase one.
Cryptocurrency exchange, and that's one of the SPAC plays. And
Oh,
man, if you think that crypto is just limited to crypto, crypto has now hit the stock market at 100 miles an hour, and there's some serious money being made in the stock market now, crypto-wise.
what does that mean? Everything slows down like it did when Ethereum got theirs, and Ethereum hit.
Well, I mean, we all know that we're in this crazy blow-off peak part of the market cycle, right? So how crazy does crazy get? I think it's gonna get pretty freaking crazy. The stopwatch is running though, right? We're running out of time. It's now the end of October, so we are in that window, where, and I suppose we can look at charts. I suppose that's half the reason why we do this show. But we're in that window when things could go a little bit insane. So. All right, so Derek is studying options with me in level 3 and having a blast. Bringing up the tail end of our triumvirate. And actually, cool, the 3 amigos. I like that, Shark Toshi. That's so cute. And I love Shark Toshi. Shark Toshi is the captain of the memes and the GIFs and the movie, the YouTube links. He is so quick with these. It's incredible. Oh, yeah. See, there's Shark Toshi, the top of Saturn. Try and figure that out. And the interesting thing is, who's doing this right now? Nick, you're doing this, right? The interesting thing is the angle that this makes. Is that an important angle? And is that an angle that I like to follow with any planetary relationship that I often get really good timing signals off of?
It is. It's 120 degrees, and it's the Earth, Venus, Uranus cross.
There you go. Okay, so no fucking around, Nick.
I just watched the videos yesterday, so it's
that's good. That's good. That's good. So actually, we've got one coming up here in December, I think. So, and I think actually that's the pivot, and it makes perfect sense, right? Because that's just about exactly the time Bitcoin should go absolutely ape poop. We might find that the damn price doubles in less than a week. So
I'm cool with that.
Yeah. All right, so bringing up the pack, our level 1. Like I said, I was actually pretty darn impressed. I didn't really sell him on the idea, but I guess he was impressed with our site that he actually decided to join the school program for the fall term here. Ben from the great state of Florida, how you doing this evening, sir?
I'm good. I'm licking my wounds after pounding the table on Bitcoin last week. But
oh yeah, you went uber bullish, didn't you? Ouch. All right. Well, no Lambos this week, and I suppose it's your 100x liquidity that Mr. CZ's thanking you for.
That's it.
In fact, I think I remember, didn't Julian say in his recent daily briefs he's given up trading on Binance because CZ just keeps taking his money on the leverage products? Oh, God, that's a tough game, man. No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Tough game. All right. Well, actually, I don't feel so badly. But I guess, Derek, way to go. You were caution was the correct call at the very least. So I don't know whether we want to make a prognostication right now or maybe wait till the end. Why don't we wait till the end of the show? And then that'll be sort of our big send-off kind of thing. So, speaking of which, I don't even know whether, what we want to do with this list. What we want to do we want to go back and look at names again? Do we want to take new requests? I mean, the interesting thing is it doesn't really look like there's that many people who are really that interested in this. So I tell you, if you're a new person to trading, I can see most of the people over on the YouTube channel are actually TRIOGs. There's Shirtoshi, Rocker, Adam. You're over there, Nick. So, if you're new to trading or you're not part of the TRI group and you're over on the YouTube page right now, wow, you got like carte blanche. Ask away. Undivided attention by all the TRIers. That's funny. And maybe what are you OGs trading? Rocker, what are you trading right now? Rocker, we used to chat. Was joke funny. The old prop firm that I worked for back before I did this website with Julian. They had a floor trader on there who runs the place, and I have to say, it's one of the best sort of educational floor people you ever meet. In fact, Nick, you should probably go over and just we should take you out. Like, I think it's a good idea to take the level tours, especially since you did Hoag's volume profile sort of setups. Should take you over to Top Step. Just have you ever sat in on one of John's morning shows?
No.
Yeah, just to get to know my old boss. He was my boss. He's a great guy. Kind heart. And actually, that's one really good anecdote of really, really good traders is they are the nicest people in the world because they're totally full of confidence. They don't give a shit. They don't got anything to prove. They don't have any ego or anything because they can just go make money in the market. I tell you, like really, really good traders. They're like people like Kiran and Daniele, our little TRI, the day trader pros. Grim, our level 1 instructor. Man, that guy's got a heart of gold. Anyway, kind of blabbing here. Sorry, guys. So what do we want to do? Where are we going to take this thing? I got the little old ladies right now. They're all giving everybody the finger. I'm going like total. I've been wearing my hoodie, and I got my heater, so my hair's an absolute mess. But I don't know if I can show this on. There I am. So that's what that's my background image, YouTube. How do you like that, eh? That's a good one. So there's a good old TRI. That's actually a little bit older TRI logo, but anyway. Okay, so what do you guys want to do over there on YouTube?
I think Adam wanted to look at Aave.
Adam wants to look at Aave, all right. And by all means, the three of you, if you want to take this conversation in any particular direction, just say so. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, so one thing I know, Brian, I don't know if you said this on the Daily Brief. I think I commented after, like, you were already gone. I was watching it after the fact, but I think you'd looked at 1inch and how that went crazy. And 1inch and Aave were both listed on one of the Korean exchanges, which is I'm not remembering right now.
Fascinating how all that stuff started back up again, eh? Where wasn't that Shiba just listed on Coinbase and it went absolutely nuts because of that? This one right here, eh? Look at that. What a fantastic analogy of good old Foggenbaum, eh? Boom. 1688, nailed it. Oh, goodness. But wasn't this like a Coinbase listing? I think it was.
Yeah, I don't think it just happened, though.
I think that's what this big candle is here. That right there. But maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. Okay, so Aave, and that's one of these things that we follow over here, isn't it? I think this one here, AAVE.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah. Oh, that looks nice. So I remember, didn't I see this the other day? It had some crazy ass wicks heading up top here. So, and Adam, I think you probably already know this, right? Just technically speaking, keep it really simple. I don't know what the ultimate low is here. I doubt that was the ultimate.
Hey Brian, look at it on Binance real quick.
Oh yeah, Trek sucks.
I think that's what he wants to see.
Yeah, you're right. Good old CZ. And it's fascinating. Why did CZ as the one who ultimately... what do we want to do? Do we want to do tether kind of thing?
Yeah, do the... I brought up the tether one, and that's the one with the...
There you go. That's the one. It's remarkable. I would have thought, number one, another competitor other than CZ would have come along. Why is it he's dominated this space, that one character? And then number two, Tether. I'm surprised Tether has survived through this whole thing. But anyway, that's here nor there. It's kind of interesting how there's not really that much more data, though.
Well, I was just saying because look what happened today or yesterday.
Yeah, a huge spike there.
That was not there on the other chart.
Yeah. So, I mean, and also on a massive amount of volume, too. So what was the news that drove?
That was just that it was brought out on the Upbit exchange that Aave and 1inch just both exploded yesterday, and then Aave came all the way back, but 1inch I think kept going a little bit.
I think I heard people talking about that. What's that symbol?
It's the number 1 and then inch.
Number 1, like that?
Oh, no, like just one, the number, and then inch.
Oh yeah, there it is. There you go. So he hasn't given, but still gave up. So isn't that interesting? That's probably an Upbit. Is that the exchange?
Yeah.
Isn't that Japanese? What was the name of the Japanese one? No, it's not. It's not. That's Korean.
It said it was Korean.
Could be. Well, it's fine. So I guess that's the difference between purchasing power. So Korean exchange, do they have that much oomph? The Shiba, wasn't it listed on? I thought it was listed on Coinbase. I thought that was the big thing.
I think that was back in September.
Yeah, so I guess that's over there, right? September 9th. So what was the big driver of this thing here today? Wasn't it listed on some exchange? I thought it was.
I mean, besides retail greed.
Yeah, I think it's just a greed thing. You got people on YouTube starting to pump it too, so it's
That's a bit surprising. There's something driving this. Should we look into the news?
Yep.
What's a good place to look into this? CoinGecko? It was last time I looked. I remember there was CoinMarketCap, but what's his face went and bought it. CZ bought CoinMarketCap, didn't he?
Well, I know supposedly the people that created it had talked about doing like a coin burn and that type of thing. So maybe there's some anticipation there.
So interesting. eToro is where a lot of the buying pressure is coming in. Crypto.com, isn't that that's the old MCO, isn't it? Crypto.com, didn't they go? Isn't that MCO or is that something else?
That was a different.
Oh, interesting. Look at that 24-hour volume, though. It's not even close. Binance is the ruler of the universe here. So, I don't know the story behind this. I thought I heard somebody say that it was some sort of exchange listing. But I suppose... And actually, it's interesting because one of Andrew's ideas, one of his plays, is coming to life. What's Adam saying? Everybody's going, nobody's listening to Adam.
A Robinhood listing, but I'm Googling. It says that there's like a petition to list it on Robinhood, but I don't think it has been.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, rock and roll on the Shiba. I guess, and this is my question: is Alan part of this pump as well? Was this part of the Doge story, I think, or is this sort of the anti-Alan part of it? I don't understand how any of that stuff works. Do either of three of you know how this works? Hey, Derek, didn't you say you got off a big win on this thing today?
Oh yeah, but I kind of felt bad because it's not like the TRI way. I kind of just jumped in because I heard something, and then a couple of days I turned around, it was up like 3x. So but I did get a free position, so maybe
you've heard my story about the dog food signals, right?
Well, I was thoughtful enough to get a free position, so I guess that is kind of the
Hey, that's good money man.
Half-ass rational investor way. not full location and all that other good stuff, but yeah, one.
All right. Anyway, I think the rational investor way is if you can establish a risk-free position as fast as possible, which you told me you did, and you're basically just playing with the market's money. I love that. That's always music to my ears. So Joshua is saying Alan said he owned none of this the other day. All right. I did find it interesting that Doge tried to get going, and then this thing sort of perked up, and it kind of stole all the thunder out of Doge, because I noticed that Doge is just floundering here. That seems a bit odd how it just backed right off. It looks like it was getting ready to go, and then it just backed right off. So I don't know what the hell's going on there. It's too bad because, like I said, I there's gonna be a ton of people that are trapped up here. I sure would love for them to be able to get released. Who knows if they can or not. We often in the school program, anybody watching on YouTube, we talk about the guys who bought this bar right here. Where are they sleeping? And unfortunately, actually, I remember when I was a kid, there was a cartoon where if the husband got into trouble, the wife would make him go and sleep out in the doghouse. Do you guys remember those references?
I do. I can't tell you what show it is, though.
Yeah, that's from forever ago. Anyway, so we anecdotally say the guy who bought this up candle here kind of thing, they're sleeping on the couch, they're sleeping in the doghouse, and they just need to pray to get priced back into there, and then they'll hop off and square up. So, like I said, I would love to hear that these people got released, but maybe they just will never get released. I was very surprised to see the way that just cropped out there. Oh, well. I mean, unfortunately, that's capitalism for you. You just never know which way these damn things are going to blow. So, Ave here on the Binance site. What's really interesting is, I was trying to tell you there just briefly. My new roommate here, he's involved in a deal on they're on the secret network, or there's something part of that secret network. So, do you guys know what the hell? What's the big sales pitch of that? I don't know whether you guys seen that recently, but wow.
Secret is it used to be Enigma. That's the ENG coin, and then they switched networks. They switched from. It started out as on an Ethereum network, and the goal of the project is to provide like privacy smart contracts, where you can do all the computations, kind of I guess through the smart contract, and they're all well, for lack of a better term, secret, right, private. Now they have their own network, and I think it's going to be what it's supposed to be is more of like a side chain kind of like deal now, but it used to be direct. It used to work directly on Ethereum. They changed the name. They rebranded. They became Secret.
Yeah, they're part of Cosmos now.
Yeah.
You like Cosmos? That's your shit, isn't it, Nick?
I do. Hey, you like it too now. You got Akash. That's on Cosmos.
I got a what?
You got some Akash AKT. That's on Cosmos.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think I'm pretty deep in something called Sienna. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, Sienna is I want to say they might actually be working with Secret, but I'm not as.
Yeah, because that's where we have to do the deal. Is we have to do it on Secret.
Okay. Yeah, I know. Colin has talked about Sienna for.
Because Andrew and Colin are buddies, right? They work for the same company and some stuff. So, yeah, I was curious. I mean, what letter of the alphabet do you see staring at you in the face here? So there's something really big going on here. And the thing is, usually when these W's like this freaking big, it means this damn thing's probably going to like $50, $100, and you'll look back at the W after the fact, kind of like, actually, you know what? It's exactly like what I just showed you. So keep that image in mind and sort of the proximity of where we are, right? And then look at this crazy thing. Not this piece of. Well, actually, we could do it on Doge, but I wanted to show you on the other one. Because this was the tweet that I put out today. What I'm really worried about is, of course, the public. And I don't know why I'm worried about it, but for some stupid reason, I have this bent on not people getting taken advantage of. But I put this tweet out and said, why are you coming in and buying here? I mean, okay, fine. I guess that's Derek style right there. Maybe he's going to get a double off. I don't know. But if you can somehow teach yourself to buy here, right on the big W breakout, that's where the millionaires are made. Because now, if I go from here to here, you can see, well, I got a 25% return on my money. But if I go here, even up to here, that's like 600. Or up to here, geez, we're talking 800. So there's the difference between the guys, who drive Lambos in this silly crypto trading and the guys that drive like Volkswagens. This bothers me immensely coming in and buying something here. The risk is actually, I would actually say the risk is very, very high. But until it actually stops, the momentum stops, well, I suppose you can ride the wave, but that seems extremely dangerous. But if you can somehow teach yourself to come in down here and buy this volume, actually, you haven't done this yet, Ben, but you will soon. But Nick, that volume impetus module, can you see how the bulls just took over on that bar right there? I mean, that's the definition of a volume breakout if there ever was one. Boom. They always say volume speaks volumes. So that big honking breakout there, right? If you go back, like if you do the replay and go back like here. So like, not much going on. Maybe I'll go to the beauty parlor, get my hair done today. Going bowling with the crowd, and then, whatever, blah, blah. And then all of a sudden, boom! That's, if you want to make money from trading, that's what you have to look for. You have to look for that massive volume breakout. Now, you saw how fast that happened there. I don't even know if I can I go back? I don't even think I can. Anyway, happened like lightning. I'm not going to shit you. I'm not going to say this is easy. But, wow, that's where the pros are getting long off this thing. So, I guess what I just wanted to sort of relate was, what was that symbol, the really big W we just saw there? Oh, I can't remember what it was.
Secret, that's
right, S-C-R-T. What I'm worried about here, I don't know. I'm long, so I guess I don't really have to be worried. But I guess you could say that's a similar breakout down there. But gee whiz, this sure. In fact, you know what this looks like? It looks like a massive LJ. So you go like there, and then there, to here. Something along those lines. So.
How do you deal with the one that got away? Like, I was sitting there looking at this thing at like 143, and I'm thinking I could not make myself like do the transactions. Like, I was too lazy to do the transactions in order to actually buy it. Like, and now I look at it and I feel like terrible.
Yeah. Here's the problem, right? Is if anything, what you have to learn, Derek, is, do you remember when we were going through all this? And we were looking at these names as they were coming down here. We're kind of like, oh, don't touch this. Oh, don't touch this. Don't touch this, right? And the way that I like to approach these is I'm going to just sort of see that old market structure. And as soon as that hits that level, I'm just going to give myself, and I'm at or below reload zones, I'm going to give myself permission just to start accumulating. Now, once it gets going, I mean, ironically enough, this is sort of the LJ setup, and it's not really the best example. But do you see how 1, 2, 3 breakout, W on the other side of this trend line is your buy signal. You could also, and this is where the bot really helps out, is you could draw that up there and go bot setup. So of course it's always backwards. So did 33, no more than 66. So how can I sneak my way in here on this thing? So something like that, and like that. So you missed the bottom here. Maybe you were dollar cost averaging at or below reload zones, so you're fine. Maybe not. Maybe. You know, the interesting thing is there's the reload zone. Can you see how this is basically a head and shoulders developing off of basically the midpoint of the reload zone? So it's actually in an acceptable location to buy that inverted head and shoulders breakout. But what I think is that, you know, you're asking me, Brian, how would you handle this? How would you try and get in? I would be looking at this, seeing the consolidation, 1 low, 2 lows. And if I really wanted to buy and I was kind of like, you know, I missed the boat, I think I might give myself permission to try and sneak in off of this fractal right there. You see how that's a nice inside bar right there? It's a doji bar, so you got nice test of the low, then an inside bar. So if you drill down on this, this probably looks like some sort of bottom in there. Yeah, there it is. So do you see how this is an inverted head and shoulders? So I said I'd give myself permission. Remember, this is the bot level. I got 1 low, I got 2 lows. I'm flirting with this. I broke this, so now we're back to 1 low, 2 lows. And notice, look how this thing's making higher highs and higher lows in here. So could you just say, look at, you know what, I want to get in. I missed the first entry. So I'm going to try and sneak my way in off of that. Can you see that fractal there?
Yes.
So you're asking me how I would try and get in. That's how I'd try and get in. So, and then you can just keep doing that the whole way up, right? Go back to that higher time frame chart. So market broke out. There's your little entry there. Missed it. Now we go zooming all the way up to here. Boom. This is going to get a little bit more, you know, it's definitely more advanced. And, you know, you're level 3 God motor, so I think you can handle this. But does it make sense that we can go boobity boom and do the whole game all over again? Actually, here, let's go the other way. So I'm not going to go, it's backwards. Sons of bitches. So we can go like that. And then we can go like that. And we can go like that. So 33, no more than 66. And we can drill down to like, you're going to try and sneak your way in here, right? Yeah, this is a trending market. So can we get a bot setup to come in here? So something like there to there. Then we go there, clone that, get up into here. Where's 25? Backwards. Boom, boom. There you go. So you can see 25 is basically this double bottom level, eh? Look how the market actually set up this floor right off of that level. So this is kind of, you know, and when I was a prop trader, it used to be like this. Remember when Brian says, you know, on the site, I want 3 lows to work with. I'm a chicken shit. That's like you are the most insulated possible position with like 3 higher lows, lots of defense, you know, the institutional fingerprint, all that stuff, right? But sometimes in trading, it's not that easy, and especially if you have to trade. Look, I have to trade. I got to put fucking food on the table kind of idea. Well, if I saw that and I was at a prop firm, can I understand? And, you know, I like to quiz the audience. Let's see if we can do this. I always like, because there's another guy who does it on the internet and he gets answers just like that. So let's do it. If I have a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio, how often do I have to be right just to break even? Come on, YouTube. Do it for me. Thank you, Nick. Nick gave the answer here in the Hangout. Looks like Waleed's going to be my mortgage broker. You should see the messages he's sending me, Derek. It's funny. Derek's in class. Like every term, I always pick a guinea pig to be my mortgage or my options, my real estate partner. And Waleed's sending me mortgage rates now. Anyway. Nobody. Oh, there you go. Gibby, 30. Well, actually, I got to be a little bit higher than that. Yeah. Derek says, Adam and Nick, thanks for the support. Oh, awesome.
They were just telling me next bus in 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it sucks when you miss ones you want, but it's true. There's always places to make money.
No, you're right. You're right.
So, thank you for placating me. I got 3 or 4 answers. Thanks. I don't get any respect from you guys. That other guy on the video channel, man, his army, they just snap. But then I guess
you're apparently the Rodney Dangerfield of trading.
Yeah, I
you
think
just can't
so.
get any respect.
Actually, well, that's actually not a bad reference. I think Andrew would probably agree with that. Oh, well, I mean, if you don't take yourself seriously, how are other people supposed to take you seriously, right? So anyway. Okay, so the point of the matter here is, can you see how if I was a trader and I got a trade, this is actually a 3-to-1 risk reward. So I won't even ask you how often you have to be right on a 3-to-1 risk reward ratio to make it worth taking the trade. I mean, if 2-to-1 is 33, then 3-to-1 must be a hell of a lot less than that, right? So the point ends up being, if you are a pro trader and you want to get in on this, you just wait for the consolidation, map out the ABCDs, map out the 3-to-1s, and get in there. If you got like a W to work with, awesome. And then, like I said, Brian's a chicken shit by nature. He loves 3 lows just because I'm obsessive. But do you see, Derek? Do you think you could have snuck your way in off of this level?
Yes.
Right. And, the irony of it all is you could literally trade your whole way up this damn market. So, next leg, do exactly the same thing. And that's there to there. And you clone that. This is going to be a little bit bigger one. So you made your big bucks on that last one. And now this one's setting up. And so, basically you want to try and hunt that W off of the 25 level. Oh, let's get our 25 level. Boom. Of course, it's backwards. Yeah, so we'll go boom. All right. So, as this is developing, you want at least 33, but no more than 66. So it comes alive here. But notice, in this particular case, notice how we're making lower lows. This is a little bit dangerous here. I think it's a good idea to have at least a valid W. So you would have started out here and said, okay, there's your bot level. And then, oh, geez, we just made another new low. Then the market comes screaming back up to the bot level, flutters around here. Actually, ugly M right off of that level. Boom, right back down. And look how it just came blowing right through there. Right? So this all gets wiped out. Then you start, there's the 25 level way up there. So you just let this thing consolidate a bit. You could even start thinking 1, 2, 3. All right, if I get W's, well, let's rock and roll. And back down to another new low. So notice, now this is interesting. Remember we said bot starts to come off the table if we lose 66. So notice this one. We rally straight up to the 25 level, then come right back down. Put in this cute little W. Okay, and look how far away the bot entry level is, though. Very, very dangerous. In fact, this I would say, is a trading range unto itself. So lots of little lows, and frankly speaking, if you're a trader and you're like, well, there's the bot, I'm going to front run this, and maybe I'm just going to take this risk, right? Because there's the low, right? 1 low, 2 lows, 3 lows. You can take a ton of these little itty bitty risks. You know, maybe there was one there. This one, it failed. Boom, you're stopped out. But then notice the next one. And this is often what happens with day traders is, you know, you might have the first attempt that you try to get in. It doesn't work, but keep your focus. All right, we're heading down now. 1 low, 2, hey, oh, geez, here comes another little W. Okay, are we ready to rock and roll? We're going to be committed. You know, if I say LBR, who am I talking about? Nobody?
Lyndon B. Ronson?
She is a famous technical analyst. How about that?
I know who you're talking about.
Oh, she's close. I can see that the gears are turning. How about you over there on YouTube? LBR. Who am I talking about? Triple Lindy. Oh, I like that.
Is that Linda Ratchke?
Hey, there you go. Now, what's the B stand for?
I have no idea.
Bradford. But then I think she got divorced. So then she went back to Linda Ratchke. So, you know, it's kind of a floating name kind of thing down in the States. But anyway, I remember one time I actually asked her point blank, and I remember this to the date. I asked her, how many shots are you going to take if you're, you know, let's say you're hunting a bot here and you're, you know, and let's say this is, I don't know, the S&P 500 pit or whatever. And how many shots do you give a setup? And she always said two. You know, if the second one fails, fine. Admit that you're wrong. Call it a day. But here's a really good example where this cute little one, you didn't take much risk, but you had to have the professionalism just to get out when it dumped here. Then it did it again, and boom, in you go. And this is a case where if you can force yourself to sneak in off here, this is probably also a half decent little LJ as well, if we go like there to there. First W on the other side, so maybe you even waited for that to actually happen there. Interesting. Add LJ in there, that would have gotten rid of that setup. But if you'd gotten in on that, Derek, what do you think? Would you be the fucking man here or what, eh? Like, do you see how you sneak? You could. Who asked me this? Derek, you asked me this, didn't you?
Yeah, I think I hijacked the show with that one.
Well, that's fine.
It's
no
a good
hijacking.
hijack.
We're all in it together. You guys having fun? I'm just
No, it's good.
away.
It's good.
So the point here is that I think is probably your kid. So we actually mapped out 2 trades, right? So how you said originally, you know, yeah, I heard you back in the summer and you were like bullish, but I missed this trade. So what do I do? And then I said, well, you're going to see this big pump, then you're going to find this consolidation. You're going to map out your bot, 3-to-1 risk reward, get in there. And actually, it's interesting how this thing just fluttered along there. And you just wouldn't have known what the fuck was going to happen through here, right? This is a perfect trader's life. You just don't know what's going to happen. And you just got to live with the results. So big run up, you booked your profits, then it came back down, you started hunting, waiting for W's. Maybe you took that one, being a little aggressive, got stopped out, took that one, and you are in on a fucking killer level. And, you know, are you taking total profits up here? It's up to you. Maybe you sell like 70, 80% of the position, stop to scratch on remaining, and just see where the hell this thing takes you. You just never know. And actually, you could have done the same strategy on both. Sell 70, 80% of the position here, stop to scratch. Notice it never came back. So I hope that helps answer that question.
That was great. Great, thank you.
Okay, cool. So it's interesting, actually, because somebody asked me to sort of just keep an eye on these coins for them. And they were in the States and they had to leave Binance. So I'm not even quite sure how we get the capital back into the guy's hands, because clearly the idea worked, eh? Isn't that bizarre? Silly capitalism. Ugh, God, so frustrating. So I don't know. Is there like there's like an acceptable Binance list and an unacceptable Binance list? Isn't there for US people?
Yeah, there's a
Yep.
Binance.us. And so we just aren't even allowed on, well, we're not supposed to be on Binance.com.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, anyway, if anybody has a suggestion, I mean, are these guys DeFi now?
Secret, I feel like Secret is kind of like an L1 where it's actually like an Ethereum, like a Matic, like an Atom almost, where they have their own smart contract blockchain. And then something like Sienna seems like it's more of a privacy DeFi protocol on Secret.
Okay.
But I will say I am absolutely not an expert on Secret or Sienna. Derek might know better than I do.
Or Ben. Okay, well, anyway, kind of fun to talk about this tonight. Where should we go next? What did we cover everything Adam wanted to look at?
I'll go back up there and look.
What did he say?
Did we finish up Ave?
Ave, did we actually talk about what to do there? Problem is, it's kind of like in the middle of no man's land. So it got like an exchange listing, which injected a bunch of new buyers, and it kind of crapped out there. It's interesting. This candle actually finished down. So, accumulation distribution people, they call that a distribution. So, the irony of it all is that this is sort of like, boom. Yeah. Well, actually, it didn't even get there, did it? What a mess. It's kind of just stuck in no man's land. It's in a very awkward place right now. Right? Even if we just go off of that range. I'm the type of person that I like to buy cheap, so, there's my reload buy zone. And then up here is my reload sell zone. And we're just sort of stuck in no man's land. I don't really like either trade. I don't like when they do this because you can see there's an M here, so that's bearish. But then there's a W here. So really what this looks like is this is kind of like a trench, trench warfare. And right in here, this is like even more no man's land. This is where all the minefields and shit are. The bulls own this side, the bears own this side, and this is some World War I trench crater. Dangerous place. Too bad all the people that FOMO long into here, and then just had their hearts crushed there. It's too bad. I guess you could make the argument that those people that are really good with channels and triangles, I wouldn't be surprised if something along those lines. What you're supposed to do here is take 50% of that range, and that's the apex of the triangle. And then there's specific ratios that you do to actually measure out the triangle in perfect symmetry. One easy way to sort of see that is this. It's supposed to be somewhere down in here, and if I map the whole damn thing out, I can show you, but we haven't got time to do that tonight. But it should look something like that. And usually the rule is that this comes to a head at 2/3 the apex. So if we go price, and the problem here is I'm just eyeballing this. This is not accurate at all. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Go there. So 356 bars. Divided by 3. So that's going to be 118 or so. There's a third. So something like that. Make that like blue. So this isn't accurate, but roughly speaking, this consolidation should resolve itself somewhere right around here. Right there. So it's something like that. So my hunch is that actually this move up here was too fast. It's got to go through this whole sort of symmetrical process. And what's really cool about this, if you can get really good at it, is what this really is this is actually how the universe is built, for whatever it's worth. And the universe is just built on a whole bunch of triangles. So hopefully what you see is if I do that, this triangle here is basically exactly the same as this triangle here. And this is a nice right angle. Well, no, I don't know what the name of that triangle is, but hopefully you can see. This makes like this angle and this angle are exactly the same. And then this triangle here is exactly a replication of this triangle just to scale. Does that make sense? And it just keeps going and going and going. And this is actually like how the universe builds energy to do anything. So just like we did that, the next triangle goes something like that. And that probably, I think it does intersect off of that 50. So you can see this triangle is the same as this triangle. And this triangle is the same as this triangle, which is the same as that triangle. See how that works? And it just keeps going and going and going, and it just keeps coiling and coiling and coiling until the beginning of the universe. So if you can figure this image out, actually you can figure out how the whole universe works. So that's all. Nothing really to see here.
You're giving away the keys to the universe.
Yeah, and it's so funny, right? Because hopefully what you see is this is all in threes, right? It just threes over and over and over and over and over. And Tesla, his whole life, he spent everything doing in threes. Like, if he was going to stay in a building, it had to have, like, the number 3. All the numbers had to add up to 3. Everything to Tesla had to end in 3. And I think that's why, because, like, triangles basically are the foundation for our universe. Anyway, okay, so having said that, there's nothing really to do here right now. I would wait till this triangle sort of gets to this point, and then, just be forewarned. And actually, we've had a few really good examples in the past where things like MACD, as we're going through this sort of consolidation, MACD, and we'll just use the volume here just for purposes, right? That doesn't matter. But MACD will do something like this. And the problem with this is what ends up happening is basically MACD is the moving average study. It makes what I call a coil. And the problem here is usually what ends up happening with these is that you get this big breakout to one side and it's a head fake, and then it goes slamming down just violently in the other direction. And we often see that with the MACD histogram. So watch which way the MACD histogram breaks, because usually it's a head fake, the first move that it makes. So that's what I would be watching out for here, is how is the MACD setting itself up. And, it can do exactly the opposite too, right? So it can come down here and then do a slingshot straight up. So I've seen that happen before as well. So you really want to sort of watch how that MACD behaves as we come into this 2/3 apex zone here. Looking for kind of the trap. It'll the momentum will coil, the trap's laid, and then the trap usually springs the other direction. So anyway, let's we got this to me looks like it's going to play out sometime in early January. So we got lots of time to watch this. Let's see how it develops over time. All right. Anyway, what do you think? Do we give that thing justice? Hey, you're right. TRI is a triangle. Yeah, there's a lot of comparisons to that, eh? Triangles are the strongest shapes. Ave still in uptrend at the moment. Yeah, I don't think it's in a... Well, I don't know. You think uptrend? I mean, this is a higher high, but we blasted through these lows. So, I don't know. Would you call that an uptrend? I think I'd call that a trading range. I don't know whether I would call that an uptrend, to be honest with you. I mean, I suppose this move here from the bottom that was just put in there in late summer. But like I said, you got this market structure top here. So this is like no man's land. I don't know. I don't think I would say that this is really trending. And you know, Adam, and actually you know this, what's the indicator that's going to tell us whether this is trending or not? I don't know. I don't think I actually teach this in this school program. So maybe you are. Maybe you're not going to know this. Any ideas? What is the indicator that tells us whether the market is trending or not? And actually, interesting fun fact, this is one of the components of LBR's favorite setup. So there you go. All comes full circle. So what's LBR's favorite setup? Maybe we should ask that question. Nick, you know Linda, so what's Linda's favorite setup? She's famous for it.
I definitely don't know Linda. I watched an hour like Market Wizard talk that she did. I saw somebody was doing a home renovation. Well, I watched a video on YouTube, so I got to be an expert at changing plumbing now, right?
I Googled something and I keep seeing ADX pop up.
Ah, there you go. Way to go. Oh, hey, Colin knew the answer. That's cool. Yeah. So now, trivia question number 2. What's the reading that we want to see out of ADX to tell us that a market's trending or not?
If it's above 30.
Whoops. Wow, that was weird. What just happened there? Oh. All right. So let's go see what ADX is doing. So now we're going to find out whether Adam's right. Maybe we are trending. Let's see. ADX. Now, the interesting thing with ADX is some sites don't call it ADX. So, do you know what some sites call this? They actually, and you'd only know this if you've been a technician forever, but some sites call this the DMI. It's basically the same thing. The Directional Movement Index or the ADX. So if we do a DMI, there's the DMI. Let's see what ADX comes up with. Average Directional Index. So the DMI, it looks like they're including the ADX in the DMI study. And actually this is a cool, this is yet another trading tool that I've never talked about on the site, but I used to trade with this all the time. Really cool analysis tool. We won't get into DMI today, but ADX. So let's see if we can answer Adam's question off the daily basis. Is this market trending? What's that number?
Less than 30.
Adam, what do you think? So I gotta say, saved by ADX. All right. Well, that was kind of a fun kind of experiment. Okay, where should we go next?
I think.
What's that? Joshua wants us to look at Kepler. What's that?
No, Kepler is a Cosmos wallet.
Okay.
And so I think when we were talking about where Secret was, I think that was a response to that.
Oh, okay.
But Sharky and someone did ask for Forth.
Forth. What's the symbol on that?
FORTH.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess that makes sense. Forth. Tethers? Binance. Whoa. Isn't that interesting? Look at the ADX on that bad boy. Go figure, eh? So this thing actually says it's trending. Not a bad little W there. So this is basically everything that we do at TRI. Might be interesting to see what our out of the box, well, not out of the box, out of the TRI box indicators look like. Boom, let's see what we got. Ugh, yuck. Wow, isn't that bizarre? So I guess ADX is it saying it's trending down? Isn't that odd, eh? Huh. Don't like the look of this momentum, I'll tell you that much, by crackers. Looks like it was a really nice div down in through here, right? Willy stupid. So looks like, you know, the sharp pivoter hunters. Look at that beautiful turn in there on RSI and Willy. So I mean, I guess I can make it make sense. It's below value down in here, and that's probably yeah, reload Jones against those lows. I mean, was there some sort of news? Was there some sort of product launch? It looks like there was quite a bit of buying interest, and then everything's just backed right away following that. I mean, I suppose you're working stink bids. 78.6 to 1334 there. So sitting right now, 1430. That's still about what, $1 and change. And this little, look at that cute little doji right there. That's probably your floor, right? So, you know, I mean, if you're nanny nibbling this kind of thing, I mean, I hope you know the story. Don't take too big of a bet. You know how it all goes. Just slowly dollar costing, averaging your way in. I love it when I see this kind of OBV action. I mean, money is flowing into this name. But short-term momentum, clearly something went wrong here. There was some sort of promotion, some sort of launch or something, and something has just not gone right. So I'd be curious to see what the actual story is behind the coin. Like, do you remember when Luna was zooming up there, and all of a sudden Luna just fell out of bed, and it's like, what the hell happened? And it turns out some guy was trying to break the chain. I can't remember how the story went. Remember there was like one guy who drove the Luna Cash thing, and then another good example, which is probably even better one I can remember just from recent, was this LTO. They were running the asset up, and then the insiders were found to have been liquidating into the rallies and taking profits, and this, the market did not like that whatsoever. So I don't know. This looks like a very different story. This is not at the top of the move. This is kind of at the bottom of the move, but something's gone wrong here. So I don't know what's the story here, Sharky. Fourth.
So this ample fourth is I don't know if you want to call it an algorithmic stable coin. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's a coin that's usually tries to be pegged at $1. And this fourth token is the governance token around that protocol. So if you own the fourth token, you can kind of help vote for different proposals for changes to the ample fourth protocol.
Okay.
And I do know it was added to Aave recently, and some really crazy stuff happened because the ample token was up to like $1.50 or something. And so it wants to be $1, and it gets rebased back to $1, and you get more or less coins depending on if it's rebased down or up.
That's what all this was then.
It could have had a relation to that. I'm not sure on this one, but like the APYs you were getting on Aave were something like 80,000% because so many people were trying to essentially borrow it because they knew it was going to lose half its value in a few hours when it was rebased, and then they could pay it back for a 50% gain.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. Man, talking about gaming the gamers, eh?
That was completely like a game theory. How do we arbitrage this?
Probably way beyond my skill set. Sorry.
I
I'm
mean,
not that smart at this stuff, guys.
you would absolutely understand how to do it. You just might not know physically how to do it in DeFi.
Yeah, fair enough. All right. The question I would have is why would I own something like this? Just for pure speculation purposes, okay. I mean, somebody's saying there's only 15 million coins out, so I remember I lost a pile of money on that piece of shit. So I said, who remembers New Bits? Is that the same sort of thing?
I don't know what Nubits is.
And then also SBD. Is this sort of like SBD? Because I remember I used to bang out some just crazy ass fucking wins on that SBD just because it was supposed to be a stable coin. But I don't even think they even have it as a stable coin now. I mean, they just can't get the damn thing stable. And as long as it's trading at a premium, okay, fine. I guess we'll take profits. I guess I don't have it here. And it's the weirdest thing is that, and probably I think a lot of these sort of, they saw steamed dollars. Yeah, you remember these things? The Steam SBDs, Steam dollars and shit. So this thing is probably also similar like that. Man, when this thing goes zooming all over the place, like I have these, I thought they were called SBDs, but I thought maybe it's something else. I can't remember. But they're supposed to be these things. They're supposed to have like a stable coin thing, and this thing zooms all over the place to sort of offset it. And I can't remember how it goes. It's been a while since I looked into this stuff. Anyway, got a bunch of it on the book, so we'll keep eyes peeled. It's weird because I remember I had that ENJ over on Trex. So ENJ, I don't know. Oh, there it is. But
I like Engine.
ENJ is now that other name, Secret?
No, that's
No, that was Enigma, ENG.
So, okay, ENG. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
ENJ Engine is kind of in like the gaming NFT metaverse realm.
Oh, I do have a bunch of ENG. Oh, that's interesting. Not much, but a little bit. Anyway, it's another conversation for another day, I guess. Okay,
yeah,
what do we want to look at next?
I was just gonna say, you asked why you want to own it. Ultimately, if you're not interested in kind of voting on proposals for the protocol, there's no reason you'd want to own it.
That's the fourth.
Other than speculation, yeah, fourth.
That's
the
problem is that's a nasty technical breakdown there, and there doesn't seem to be any buying interest here. So I don't know how deep this goes. If you do like harmonics, this thing looks like it wants to go a lot lower. If we go there to there, and then even there to there, that takes us down a little bit lower against those lows. But I'm kind of thinking we're going to do something like that down there. So right against that low there. Yeah. So be interesting to see if there's any price gaps or anything down in there. See if there's any objectives. A little bit of a gap. I guess that was filled in. Looks pretty clean. It's not bad. Oh, a little bit of a gap right there. And anything messy over here? That doesn't look bad. Oh yeah, it looks pretty clean. That's pretty good. Don't see too many gaps on Binance. So yeah, they filled that one in. Doink right there. Oh, a little bit of a gap there. Where are we now? Oh, we filled that in. Doink, done. Yeah, that's not bad actually. This is an interesting level. Keep your eyes peeled, see if it can hold this tail here. If it can't, then we have to dump down into these levels here. That might be a little bit of a gap right there. Oh, look at that. It's pretty smooth. Yeah, there was that there that we noticed, but yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, well, that'd be interesting. Let's somebody remind me. Maybe we'll look at this on Friday or something and see if this low held. Do we have any signs of divergence or anything coming in here now? A little bit. I mean, I don't like it when Momoa does this. I ideally want to get a nice crisp W there. So it's going to take a bit more work. Willie is stupid, so probably a little late to sell. So, yeah. It would have to be sort of like, why would I be in this? And the story would have to just be awesome. Other than that, I mean, there's 100 different coins to buy in here. So, actually, what's this guy? Oh, yeah. See, some of these guys actually, that's not bad. Half the time I'm just talking to myself here. Yeah, it's interesting. Like, first thing this morning, sure saw a lot of red on the screen here. Don't see anybody really jumping up in earnest. How are your DeFi names doing? How's Cosmo doing these days?
It had an okay run up at least until yesterday and today. I mean almost the whole crypto market's not doing great for the last 24 to 36 hours, especially.
Oh, Adam? Is that what it is?
Yeah,
Adam?
it's Adam. So I mean, it had a rough day yesterday, or
Yeah.
I guess today it just ended. But
this is a really good analogy of why I like the bot with the move stop to scratch level. So like if I had this, did 33 but didn't do 66, of course it's backwards, right? Blah blah blah. And then I have my bot levels, and oh gee whiz, what a surprise, that W is a buy. This is actually a good reason why I like using the bot. Basically, I was told move my stop to scratch, and boom, market just said, you know what? I don't know whether I'm really that strong or not. And I would have, if anything, I like front running the bot a little bit. So it's kind of like, there's the W. Would have loved to have been able to get in off of that level and then, have your stop there and just walk away on that pullback. And what 2-bar pattern is this now? And is that bullish or bearish?
It's pretty close to railroad tracks.
Yeah, it's close enough that I would say it's if we go through this low here, it probably becomes a pretty substantial sell signal. So, really good analogy of the bot, trading rules, and in this case, I think you were politely told to move your stop to scratch. And if I wanted to get back in here, I gotta wait for a new buy signal. Just give me some sort of new buy signal to sort of base this off of. But like I said, if you get that 2-bar railroad tracks fail sell signal, this thing could really press these lows hard here. So, yeah. Let's see, what else do we have on the... there was... What was Sharky saying over there?
The last one that was brought up by a couple people earlier was Chainlink.
Chainlink.
Yeah, it's just Link is the...
Yeah. I could have it over here, right? Because that was one of... oh, boy. Ouch. So what 3-bar pattern is that? It's a little bit cockeyed, but actually, you know what this is making? This is now making a 5-bar fractal. Oh boy, 5 bars. Ouch.
You don't still consider that like a 5... There's no 5-bar empire, is there?
No, but a 5-bar fractal, very powerful. In fact, probably more powerful than a 3-bar fractal. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would mean that we finish whatever this day is, and then we go through that low tomorrow. So anyway, 3-bar fractal, the Empire has fired. But sometimes you wonder whether this is a bit of a trap down here. So, if we look at, like, say, a 10-minute chart. Is this divergence? Not really. A little bit here. So, and notice that's just a big gap. So if this thing catches any kind of bid, then it's probably going to rally right back up top here and fill in the gap. All the way up there. So, interesting how that's a big ugly gap down there, right?
Could that just be because we're looking at it on tracks? They might not have as much liquidity.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what's going on. But let's take a look. Link, we'll look at it in your tethers. And where's Binance? It's Binance tethers, right? Isn't that the shit these days?
I mean, it's usually one of them that has a ton of volume and a ton of liquidity. But.
Tell you, even on Binance, man, that's a big down, ugly day. Interesting how this is not, this high actually today was slightly higher than this high. So you won't be getting a 5-bar fractal there. It might have something to do with the this being a tether and not like a US dollar calculated. Also too though, gee whiz, this looks like exactly what we just said there a few minutes ago. So big rally, boom. This is probably backwards, so I'll save myself some time and I'll turn it around. And we'll go reload bot setup 33. Ooh, just to 66. Then clone that. There. And this is probably going to be backwards. Bot trade. Yep. Alright, there's your 25 off the double bottom. I don't think that's an accident. Nice little fractal you could have gotten in there. Nice little, look at that little inside bar off of that level too. Here again, move stop to scratch has been hit. If this thing pukes out here, I think you got to walk away. Shouldn't lose any money on that. And probably this trend line is going to be pretty supportive. All right, boom, 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 boom. So if this thing acts nice and well and behaved, it should turn and head back up. So we'll see what happens. No sell signal here just yet. No sell in MACD. No bearish divergence. That's good. Do you see this little top up here? Fjord probably wouldn't like the look of that. Willie never did get stupid, so we can't really say it was really egregiously overbought like over here. But, there's another M. So 2 M's in momentum, that doesn't bode well. But if you were in this trade, I think you're in, and you just walk away if it comes back to 26.23. That's the way I would look at that guy. Actually, also, too, this is a good example of a trendline breakout trade, right? So we go there to there. So don't take the trade here. Wait for the first W, buy signal, whatever, following. And I think that basically gets you along, like the trendline breakout trade gets you along from, like, in there somewhere. Right there. This one's got a little bit more leeway. The bot itself, if you're trading the bot, it's kind of strict rules. Anyway, you shake it. If anything, this, and I'm glad we finally get to say it here tonight, but this is probably one of Ben's buddies' setups here. So, what does that kind of look like, Ben?
Wyckoff check.
Thank you. But I thought, what's the NFT? The NFT's not Wyckoff check. How does the NFT go? Come on.
I feel like it's a bit self-indulgent.
Yeah, I know. So Derek's got to say it. Derek, what's it called?
It's a Benkoff check, and we need some sound clips for it.
There you go. Yeah, I'm feeling like we got to get a beat, right? There's got to be a beat in there. do 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 do. Hey, I got Andrew here, man. Maybe we can get some sort of. It's so funny how many DJs we have at TRI. DJs and technical trading seems to go hand in hand. I don't know why, but. All right. Well, hope you enjoyed my take, for lack of a better term, on Link right now.
I wonder if there's been and I mean this just because Chainlink just only went up seemingly in the bear market. But if you look at the BTC chart, it has pretty much just been nothing but down since a year ago, August. I mean, it's ranged for most of this year. Look at Link BTC quick.
Oh.
The chart is just like it just was straight up from like 2018 until 2020, and then August 2020 after, it's just been very disappointing.
Well, problem here is, when it does start going parabolic like this, that's not sustainable, eh? Like, if we were going to, and the easiest thing to do, we'll just hit the squiggly button, keep it really simple. Let's lock that in place. Interesting, that's almost a round number. Not quite. Let's go settings, and then we will go. Why don't we do maybe like 100? What do we got? All right. Well, we'll square that. Lock. All right. So is that useful? Nah, I don't know. That's gonna really even do anything for us. The only problem is, and this is versus Bitcoin. When you do them versus Bitcoin, it's almost impossible. You know what? I'm not going to go that route. What I'll just simply do is, let's just do what the system wants. Keep it nice and simple. Maybe, let's go something like that. Oops. That's not what I wanted. Okay. So if I was going to draw a Gann angle to try and identify, I guess maybe why don't we go with the fixed one? Off of here. I get something along those lines. So do you see how our 8-to-1 here is actually defining key support? So I kind of like that thinking. That works for me. The only problem is if we do lose these lows, that's a long way down. So what I might even suggest is we even adjust this one wave lower. But let's see what we got here. Something along those lines. If we do lose this 8-to-1, man, it could be a precipitous drop right down into this arc here in this time zone. Actually, I do like this time zone here. That works nicely for me. So, what's that? That is... Yeah, we'll go off of the whole thing. All right. So where's that time zone box? There it is. So that's halfway between 78.6 and 88.6. I think what we do is we play at the 8-to-1 Gann angle here, and I might even argue, keep it really simple. 8-to-1. There we go. And 8-to-1. All right, there's your trading range. So it's in a bear, and it's coming up against a really tough fight here. It's got to hold this trend line. If it doesn't, oh boy, it could really puke out down below here. You know, 88.6 probably. Actually, if anything, really good example of line in the sand, 78.6. If it can get on the other side of this 45-degree angle, then we can start thinking about taking shots up against the top end of the 8 to 1 right here. So that's kind of how I look at this thing right now. It's not really that bullish, to be honest with you. You know what this looks like? This looks like one of my billiard ball fractals. Can you see how that looks like a head and shoulders like that? So the question you'd have to ask yourself is, I think you might even be well served looking at this versus like in log scale. Yeah. Can you, so that head and shoulders, can you see how, like, if Bitcoin goes fucking ape shit here, right? You can kind of see, because this is versus Bitcoin, it's not really like this thing, Link, is going to go off the board. It's just that maybe it just needs to stay exactly the same. And how does that look? You know, so the only way you can really do this is you got to eyeball it. So I could very easily see us puke out here. In fact, we're already giving the sort of subtle signals. And we have to come back down into this area here. Could easily see that. And then I would take a look. In fact, really, you know, again, sort of Benkoff check kind of stuff. I don't see any reason why we can't come back and check that level there. That looks pretty important. Also, too, this will take us down into the top of value. So we should see some buying support. And what you probably will see was that it will walk its way along this trend line and hopefully turn right in here. That's ideally where you'd like to see it turn. But, yeah, that doesn't look good. I don't like the look of that at all. And really, I think what it is, I hate to say it, but I could very easily see Bitcoin like double, triple from these levels. I need it for it to go, I guess, what, 3.5? Then I'm actually going to start changing my name to Benkoff Euphoria? No, what's my name going to be? Sedona Euphoria. I'm so disappointed that fucking Alan gave up on pumping Doge. Son of a bitch, man. I wanted to go buy that Georgia estate with my Doge coins. Did any of you guys ever look into that? I guess Nick, you wouldn't be able to now. But I remember I was talking to somebody on the site, and they actually live pretty damn close to that place. And they're like, yeah, I'll go check it out, see if it's still for sale. You remember that area, that place I'm talking about, Derek? I think I remember.
Yeah, I remember it was a lot of land. It was very,
yeah, it was, like
it was very
acres.
nice.
Yeah. So anyway, blah blah blah. So kind of off topic, getting on to Bitcoin. Sorry about that. Link, I don't know. Versus Bitcoin, that looks like trouble. And I don't think it's necessarily that big Link is going off the board, because when we look at it versus something like, you know, I guess Tether's fine. I'm always leery about this damn Tether. Anyway, look at it versus Tether. I don't see problems here just yet. I suppose if this thing goes, like we said, that move stop to scratch level is hit. So if we go and M out here, up, down, up, and then crap out here, yeah, maybe Link is going to really take it on the nose or on the chin. The interesting thing about Link is notice that there isn't a lot of buying volume coming in up top here. So that's a little suspicious, you know. What we would ideally like to see, like, yeah, right here, for example, right? What we would ideally like to have seen is as the market accepts above value, it starts dragging value up. So actually, this might be a really good sort of case study. So you can see where value is there. Let's watch how value evolves here. Value ain't moving a hell of a lot there, right? So it's just not that much volume is coming in here. Come on, value. You can do it. Man, I don't see value moving an inch. Come on, value. Hey, there we go. Value's being sucked higher. All right, are you going to move up value? Come on, buyers. Step up and buy. Push that value up. Interesting. Hopefully you guys can see there. Really good example. You see how we tagged value high? Remember it moved there? And then it just jackknifed out of there. Oh, really good. Really good. I mean, this is a good analogy of sometimes the market will come down, tag value high, and then it's just asking, do I want to be above value? Am I a bull? If it goes back and it accepts back into value, we know it's probably going to come back down to the POC at least. Maybe even do a Hogue 80% play. So we're above value. Does value get dragged higher? Come on, value. Get sucked up. Remember, if we see value getting sucked higher, it's usually a bullish sign. Come on, value. Get off your butt. We need to see buyers step up and buy up here. Get value higher. It's just not that. Hey, there we go. We got another tick higher on value. That's good to see. So ideally what you'd love to see is you just love to see so much buying come in here that value just gets pulled higher and higher and higher and higher. Okay, it's getting up a little bit higher. Whoops. Okay, and that's where we are right now. So we had a really interesting test of value high. Market rejected that, worked its way up. Probably now, if we do come back down and M out here, we're probably going to take a serious run at that value low. And this might, if we're really lucky, this might actually even be a harmonic, right? It goes boom, 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 boom. So if we're back in this kind of conversation and we have to come back down and test value high, test this low. I mean, ideally, we'd love to see that turn at like 88.6 or so, somewhere in there. And then turn back up. And if it does turn back up in earnest, that harmonic would be huge, and away we go to the upside. But obviously, we're not there right now. But keep your eyes peeled for that. You might see that down going forward. I do like the idea that you can see if value low is our bought low level here. So what this really says is, there's probably going to be some backfilling in here. We're going to test, fill in this notch maybe. If it takes out these lows, then it's going to be a bit of a slog. If it can hold the breakout level, good old Benkoff check. And actually, this is a good example, right? Holds the breakout because of all the pent-up buyers that were all sitting there that missed the original trade. What kind of candle is that?
Hammer?
Nope.
That yeah.
This little bar right here, this big bar, and then the little bar. What do we call that 2-bar pattern?
An inside bar?
Yeah. So this becomes a, finish today, beep, done. Then a trade through that high actually becomes a little bit of a buy signal tomorrow. And since we're already long and our stop's at scratch, that would make sense. You also see too here, if we just look at this particular range, notice you can actually kind of see Hogue's value trade here over and over. So there's the top of values up there, bottom of values down here. So you can see Hogue value high to Hogue value low. Back up to, I don't know whether we got to value high or not. Could say swim around. We definitely got to value high there. So you could say there was a coast to coast. Value high to value low, back to value high. Just basically swimming back and forth around the POC back to value high and value low. So you can really see that in glorious Technicolor here. So anyway, would I buy that there? Yeah. The problem is I think you're coming a little bit late to the trade. I mean, if I really wanted to buy, I think I really would have loved to have gotten that inside bar reversal right off the bot level, or this little 3-bar empire right there off of the bot level. That's where I'd want to be long, right in there. So it's not that big of a price difference. 29 26, $3. I mean, if you're seriously thinking this going up into the 40s, maybe live with the results. It's not that. And the interesting thing, you could also look at this too and go, well, if I do take this and I risk all the way to there and I force myself to take profits there, what kind of risk reward is 1.43? Yeah, it's probably not worth it. I don't like taking trades less than 2-to-1 risk reward. So. Okay, what else should we look at? Anything else? Do we feel like...
I did. So Wildman Mike did want to look at Balancer, and I seem to remember somebody on TRI in the forum saying that it was either making a W in a reload zone or it had a bot setting up. But
I seem to remember we were kind of bullish of this thing.
Yeah, I thought so too. Like within the last week or so. Granted, the last few days might have wrecked it, but no.
Let's see. Maybe that's not today. Let's see.
Oh, is that now? Oh, yeah. This looks good. Oh, yeah. October 27th.
Mm. That's not bad. Well, there's no guarantees from management. But if you're going to step up and take a risk, this isn't a bad level. I love just buying 78.6s because you look back in hindsight and you go, damn, stupid thing bought him right off that level again. I think you make the argument there's a pretty nice looking little W right down in there. You can even buy it right off of that level now as we speak. Yeah, basically. This candle's low is 23.45, and the double bottom breakout is 23.28. Even now, sitting at 24.06, well, it's only like 50 cents difference. Trendline breakouts, boom, boom. First W on the other side. Well, we do have W's coming in here, so that is trying to point up. Probably will continue to point up until this trend line is broken. We also have these here. That one's... This is actually a pretty good example where this, I don't think, is actually a break. You have to get a market structure signal on the other side of this trend line. Look how the market just kept working it. Like, didn't get any market structure, and then finally, boom. Break. I'd probably also say this one here, same thing. That's probably what's holding all this up here is this trend line. So the bear will take over if we get an M below this trend line. Kind of like how you got that M there below that trend line. That's a really steep one though. So, interesting how that last candle, look where it came back to, eh? So, there's your support line. And you can see, just in the short term, how the market's oscillating off of it. Quite remarkable. So, there's your sort of median. Probably you could even, kind of what you see here with this trend line. You could go there to there to there, and that actually defines the channel. Something like that. And then you could also do the channel off of this high as well. So that explains that. So that's probably your channel that's working. And if it M's out below this, then you know that the up move is over. But actually it's sitting right at the buy level. Internals, let's see what we got here. A little bit of selling on that kind of funny, almost like a doji candle there. So obviously we ran up top here and we ran into a bunch of resistance up here. Everything was pointing up, but like I said, somebody stepped up and did some selling up there. Not bad RSI. We're actually above the Bollinger Band though, and you can see when we go above the Bollinger Band on RSI and then have to come back down, you can see the market moved higher here, but kind of a suspect. And then, when you actually get your M's here, this is where things could get dicey. It turns out this actually was a trap, and there was one more push higher. But this kind of anecdotal evidence, you should look at this and go, hey, that's the end of the move, not the beginning, right? The beginning looks like this stuff. So if anything, it's good that we're seeing higher highs and higher lows here. That's beginning, but maybe now that we're jumping up above the RSI top Bollinger Band, maybe now we're starting getting like this move's getting a little bit old. Willie, middle of the road. Not really overbought or oversold, so nothing really to get worried about there. I don't like the look of this OBV. Something doesn't look right about that. Like that one candle there, that should have been a nice, big, powerful green up bar. So the fact that that finished down like that and it caused the OBV to roll over and M out here, something happened there. And I guess that's kind of yesterday, because yesterday was kind of like a punch in the nose kind of day, like the corn. It actually failed. That is now officially an M top in the price of corn. So something clearly happened there yesterday that was not constructive, to say the least. Oh, Ethereum. Jesus, that looks like a double top there, right? Don't think it's quite confirmed yet. I think the confirmation has moved through this bar's low, so that's 38.86. And this bar's low was 39.12. This bar here, 38.93. So we're still not through that low yet, 38.86. So hanging on by a thread here, but you can see momentum is waning. If anything, it's good that the bears are not ramping up here, but where are the bulls? Looks like everybody's falling asleep here, so that's not good. RSI's in M's out. Willie's Ming out. Willie did officially get stupidly overbought. So, oh boy, there's lots of anecdotal evidence here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Charlie just puked on us here. So, as you can see, nasty M there as well. So, I don't know whether it's just the ball itself, and I think we kind of been talking about that, but something hit the market pretty damn hard there yesterday. And if I'm not mistaken, I seem to remember that Seward was saying that there was something like a 400,000 exit out of the Luna network yesterday. So it must have been like a programmed sell order right across the board. It just hit a number of things. Ching, 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 ching. This thing hasn't M'd out here, but the problem is it already has an M working from over here. And if we change that to a line chart, this thing already M'd out. So now we have an M and an M. So now our little smileys are actually making a bigger smiley. So yeah, we might have to take a bit of a pause here. And if anything, you're probably best. I mean, who knows? Maybe it's a bull, maybe it's a bear. Hopefully, kind of our conversations about value. Hopefully we hold value high here, which means we hold these lows and we don't go through them. We turn back up and all right, the bull's still on, rock and roll. But until things like this M finish, and now this M and this M, until we start seeing actually W's forming here again, I think we probably just got to cool our jets, folks. And I hate to say it, like one sort of coup de grace piece to all this is, I think between Monday and Tuesday, I think I banged out 7 doubles. I think I told you that, like little piece of shit stocks in the stock market that are blockchain related are starting to go a little bit stupid here. That's, damn stock there was 7 cents and they took it all the way up to 13 yesterday, basically doubled in one day. That's the hallmark of the end of a move, not the hallmark of the beginning of a move. And you can see the gaps, right? So if we have to spend a couple of weeks just filling a little bit on these cryptocurrencies, you can see how they've actually engineered now. So if there is any tax loss selling into the end of the year, they actually have sort of a backstop that they can drive it into, that this is actually the floor where the smart money is long. So I'm seeing lots of that. There was this funny little, talk about perfect hallmark for the end of a bull run. And I think this bull run started, and I joked with you guys. This particular bull run started when Mr. Powell right here said, no, Bitcoin's perfectly fine. I don't care. So I'm not talking about the end of the end of a 4-year cycle. What I'm just talking about is this run here. It needs to clean itself up now. It's just too far, too fast, and all divergent, overbought, blah, 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 blah. So like that aqua, it'll clean itself up in this little period here. And there were some funny other little ones in the stock market that I was trading. There was one that was in the adult, and not cheeky adult, but adult education business in China. Oh, geez, what am I doing? Wasting my time in China. But what the hell is at the bottom of the range? Brian likes to take a risk, blah, blah, blah. I wanted to show you guys. Actually, here's a good example of one. Took some profits on a double level in here, and you can see they just melted away. And the interesting thing is, look at the size of the gap that they left here today. So the market's going to be right back up top here, filling in this gap down the road. So I think it's kind of short term here. This guy, this is when this kind of shit is rallying, that we're near kind of the end of that little speculative move. Bitcoin and Ethereum and all that shit were rallying up through here, right? Do you see this thing moving? Didn't move an inch. All of a sudden, it starts taking off. They announce, hey, we're getting into the blockchain business. Oh, what a surprise. And like I said, when you start seeing this stuff start to move in the market, it's a classic tell that we're probably near the end of some sort of move, right? Now, you got to bang your doubles out. Take your profits, hop off on the sidelines, wait for everything to calm down again. So that's kind of the market state that I'm seeing right now. All right, that is basically a couple hours. So what do you think, guys? Did we give the good people any value here today?
Sure.
Yeah?
I got a lot of value.
Is that the consensus?
Yes.
Remember, we do still need to vote
we got to do our
week.
predictions. All right. Man.
I'm sure glad we waited to the end.
Oh, did it move up quite a bit?
No, but I think I feel differently about it.
Wow.
How did you feel?
Derek, what was Derek's
I think I didn't mark it yet, but I'm thinking, I think I'm gonna stay neutral.
You're gonna make that.
I was considering maybe feeling a little bit at least going to 1, but I think I'm gonna wait for maybe see how these M's play out. I don't know, possible M's. So
yeah, I don't know whether I really want to, and we haven't really defined what actually these numbers really mean, other than sort of sentiment, slightly bullish, slightly bearish. I don't know whether there's actually a number here. But, all right, so Derek, you're going to go with sort of neutral. You're kind of back to not overly excited one way or the other?
Right, not excited one way or the other. I kind of wait for things to play out. I definitely don't believe it's going to be higher.
Ben, you still in a face rip kind of mood? What are you thinking?
I think I'll probably tone it down a little bit this week.
Sharky's telling you to double down.
Double down.
Well, how do you double from 2? He's gonna go 4.
He's going with a 4, I guess. We're doing the Bitcoin tripling this week.
All right. So, what number you want us to put down here, Ben? It's up to you.
Let's make it a 0.
0. Okay. Wow. All right. Quick flip. Nick, what are you gonna go for here this week?
I haven't had a negative number since July, but I think I'm going to be a -1.
Oh, wow.
The technicals just look terrible on Bitcoin right now.
Do we have any catalysts or anything coming up? Is there anything now to look forward to?
I mean, not this week, but sometime I think mid-November-ish, Taproot comes out for Bitcoin, and that's kind of their enabling smart contracts on Bitcoin, or at least enabling more complex smart contracts.
Okay.
So it should down the line enable some DeFi, but I don't know, with the head and shoulders, with looking at like where the 382 level is, there's a lot of confluence kind of in the pump chaser zone, and you could do like an ABCD, you could do a lot of stuff to get down to like that 53 to 55 range. So
yeah. Okay. I think I'll join you on that. I'm feeling kind of negative now. That I just don't know what fundamental drivers there are right now. Everything's been done, right? They did the Bitcoin ETF. Now what?
I will say that Sharky, I that's what I'm hoping for. Sharky said 55K, then face rip. I don't necessarily think or
damn it
face rip. Yeah,
when was the last time you heard Sharky get emotional?
But
that's a bad sign. Somebody needs this price to go up. That's funny. I never hear Sharky. If Sharky says darn it, that's some pretty strong words from Josh. So, all right. Yeah, I and the irony of it all, and we never even really talked about it tonight, but in a weird sort of way, I'm gonna leave you with this image. Of course, none of you are gonna like this, but W.D. Gann used to say that you could actually measure the time a correction's going to take by simply measuring the length of the bull market and then cutting that in half. Pretty much exactly like 50% rules in price and all that kind of stuff. So, 396, I mean, if we just say like 195 or something like that, 198, something like that. So really we should hit the 50% retracement level right around 50% of the bull market. So roughly we should hit, and if we just do a 50% retracement, we should hit this right about there. So I don't think that's going to come true, but it is interesting that that is W.D. Gann theory. Now, does that get reset because we did trade to a new high, and now you have to recalculate that off of 587 bars? I don't know. That's a good question. But I did find it kind of interesting that we did trade back down to that 50% level. So, from that perspective, Mr. Gann's happy. But from the time period, actually, now that I saw that move to new highs, I'm wondering whether this study's right out the window. But I did find it fascinating that theoretically, according to Mr. Gann, this should trade here about half of what this time window was. So clearly that's not right. Or, this is the worst part.
No, you should just stop talking right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And if that happens, that would suck horse cogs. But anyway. Actually, I'm kind of pleased looking at this, that we did take this market to new highs, that's a good sign. So now we should be thinking something like that. All right, so you know what? I'm going to say a big phew on this, because I was worried about this. This was nagging me in the back of my head, but I actually not too worried about that anymore now.
So like, even if it, like, we did go back down to that 50%, but it only took us like what, an eighth of the time or something, or a quarter of the time. Does that still leave it on the table for squaring with the time piece of it?
Well, what I'm thinking is that the squaring of price and time will now have to go off of that.
Okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying now.
I actually kind of like that better, because I like the idea that Bitcoin needs to correct in earnest, probably like March, April, May of next spring. So if we just did like, this is 590, so, roughly 300, right? If we go like, say, 290 or whatever. I don't think this is the top. I think we go higher. So this is going to get stretched out more. But if this was the top and our 50% retracement, it needs to happen there by August of next year. And actually, I do kind of like that thinking. So, like I said, actually, that's actually encouraging. That was a big phew. So that's good. Phew.
Well, thanks for ending it on a higher note than you were planning on.
Yeah, that's good. I was worried I was going to end it on like, oh, fuck, this thing's just totally getting ready to collapse here. But actually, I don't think so now, so that's good. All right, famous last words. Damn thing's down 20 G's next week. Hey, but at least we'll get our vote right on the on the poll.
Man, this is one week I really hope I'm wrong, but...
Well, I do like, this is pretty well defined, right? I really do like, and I did find it fascinating that I put tweets and stuff out when we were going up here, that I was worried, we were coming into, and I don't keep talking, sorry, I should shut the hell up, but we're coming into Feigenbaum levels up here, and also too, this was a... and really, I think this is the reason why the market stalled, is because it just ran out of energy. Right? This was the energy move. So we hit, not only did we hit the Feigenbaum constant level, so that's a whole bunch of energy that's reversing, but we also hit this ABCD. So what I see here is the market just ran out of steam. And what I found fascinating is I put like tweets out in here. This is looking overdone, probably ready to correct. And like people were like, no, you are wrong. And I'm like, whoa, that's a pretty emotional response. So if anything, that was a little bit of a tell unto itself too. So what I would say here now, not the fucking Bitcoin's going to go down 20, 30 grand. But I would say something like that. And I think you made reference to that head and shoulders kind of thinking.
Yeah.
Against that tail right there, that would be pretty good. And then also too, Ben and his buddies, they're all sitting right there waiting to buy. So right down.
Yeah, that's the other reason I was saying 53.
Yeah. So. Okay, shall we leave it at that?
Hey, it's better analysis than 35, so I'm happy. Or at least more optimistic analysis, maybe not better analysis.
Yeah. I like that window right in there, somewhere around 50 G's. So, okay, why don't we leave it at that? Thank you so much for everybody who participated today. Great chatting by our little group here. On the YouTube page. Great to see a whole bunch of TRIOGers all participating. It's kind of a fun discussion. UOGers are getting to know Ben, Nick, and Derek here a little bit better too. So hopefully it's we're building a little bit of rapport with all you guys. The only thing I'll left sort of to finish to say here, it's just because the whole reason why I did this silly video to begin with. Hopefully people get some value out of it. I don't know. We actually have had a couple donations. So thank you very much to the people who have made donations. Really appreciate it. Would like to get a booth up and running in Decentraland. Sharktoshi He I think fell in love with Decentraland over the past few days. He was hanging out with Paris Hilton, I think. Where are you? You over here? Did you? I don't know whether he got autograph pictures or what, but I thought it was a lot of fun. So anyway, the point being that that was the whole reason why we did the show. The donation wallet, it's an ETH wallet. If you can help us get funds together to build that booth, and I'll just run these videos constantly 24/7. I'll just run them in the Decentraland there, and people can just sit and watch and learn how to trade from. God, we must have 100,000 hours of video. So help us try and hit that objective. We'd love you for it. All right, why don't we leave it at that? Any volunteers to take us on out of here tonight? No volunteers. I guess I'm gonna have to volunteer one of them. Let's see. Can you do a bye for now in a northern Wisconsin accent? Minnesota? How does that go? I can't remember. That's bad. You remember Fargo, right? Fargo is our reference for that accent. So.
Also in North Dakota.
Yeah, that is Fargo's in North Dakota. But you're not going over there, right? Is that one state over from where you're going to be?
Yeah, I swear everyone on the planet thinks Fargo's in Minnesota, though. I can't tell you how much crap I got for that, like when I went to college out of state.
All right, everybody. I mean, we could do it all together, or Nick could take us out of here, or Ben could do it, or Derek. But the only thing left for the 4 of us to say tonight is bye for now.